missing persons, unidentified human remains. Two criminal justice problems that have existed in our country for many years. Some even refer to the number of unidentified decedents as the nation's silent mass disaster. In 2005, the National Institute of Justice, the research, development, and evaluation arm of the U.S. Department of Justice, held a national strategy summit to tackle this problem. The Institute brought together law enforcement officials, medical examiners and coroners, forensic scientists, policymakers, and victim advocates and families around the country. Out of that summit came a charge to the Department of Justice to identify every available tool and create others to solve missing persons and unidentified human remains cases. NamUs, the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, was created. NamUs is the first national online repository for missing persons records and unidentified decedent cases. The first nationwide system accessible through the internet by the general public to match cases of missing people with records from the nation's coroner and medical examiner offices to help solve these heartbreaking cases.
Carrie was, she was 22 at the time of her disappearance. She was very athletic, very well liked. She was just a joy to be around. People enjoyed being around her. She had a lot of friends. She, you know, of course I'm a mother, so she was beautiful. At the time of Carrie's disappearance, there wasn't a lot of resources available. And of course, not being involved in anything like that, I didn't know what to do. Law enforcement didn't know what to do. And of course, with Carrie being an adult, it wasn't taken as seriously as what a child missing person would be.
Solving the case is totally dependent on identifying the victim. And that's the problem, is we can't get all of them identified by conventional means.
On the acute cases that have just happened, that have just come into the office, there's the issue of whether or not you can get information into the NCIC system and whether you have access to it and whether you can take advantage of all the tools that are potentially out there.
The concept of NamUs and the ability to bring the different disciplines together to share information is extremely important. The real component that makes it so successful, in my opinion, is the ability to have families have search capability.
AMICO is delighted that NamUs is being developed and has been involved for about a year now in learning more about it and being excited about telling more families that this project is being developed. As I shared, there are families all over the country who have been searching for a long time for a missing loved one. And to have a resource that not only is available to help in the search for their loved one, but a resource that they can use.
Well, when you have someone missing, of course you are up all hours of the night not knowing what to do, I'll get on a website and I will search the missing persons website for any information that I can find that could be helpful, because there's nobody that wants to find your child or your loved one more than you do.
Yeah, the search capability is really pretty nifty, because there's a number of categories that you can check to say, okay, I want to do a search on race, I want to also look at dental records, and I also want to look at tattoos, for example. So you check those three boxes, then you get another screen where you fill in the information. So I could plug in that I want to look at males that have a crown on tooth number 13, that also have a tattoo, and I can type in the word in the tattoo box of eagle. So it will search for a male that has a crown on tooth number 13 and has a tattoo of an eagle. That would narrow cases down, for example, to maybe 3 or 4 possibilities as compared to 100 if I didn't plug in the tattoo information.
So in effect, we have a central database which was never in existence before, where all of that information comes together and is searchable by not only the clearinghouse, but the family members and law enforcement as well.
Victims or victim families, I think, are constantly searching for something else to do, the ability to feel that they're a part of the solution.
By myself doing some of the work, then I know, I feel like I'm involved and I'm helping.
The NamUs concept and all of the components that will be put into this process, or are in fact in the process, clearly gives those victims' families a place to deposit their information, search for information, and gives them an ownership, a personal ownership to the problem of searching for their loved ones.
It's just a perfect answer for my type of work to be able to enter cases into a system like the NamUs system.
This has been something that has been needed for a long time. This has given me the hope that I will eventually find my daughter's remains.
I think for me, it's the ability to reach out and touch those families in a positive way to help them, not with closure, but with resolution to this issue, so that they can begin now to move forward in their life and understand that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.